Here's the bowl you may have seen me throw a few days ago. It's now properly leather hard, and I begin my trimming by attaching it to the wheel the right way up with a bit of slip brushed onto the bottom, which fuses it really securely onto the metal. There's a few jobs to do on the inside, such as sharpening the rim and then burnishing and smoothing over the interior shape to make a beautiful curve. I also do much of the trimming of these pots with the vessel attached the right way up, which is relatively unconventional, but it's a process I like as I can feel the cross-section the entire time, which is helpful when turning the more angular shapes I make. Essentially, at the throwing stage, the walls are left thick enough so that I can trim distinct angles into the form without making any portions of the walls too thin. This way, I can make pots that have a curved interior together with an angular exterior. Once the approximate shape is there, I can slice the vessel off, pick it up, and this is a good opportunity to assess its weight, and it informs me where, in the walls, I may need to trim away more material. But of course, a majority of that weight is in the foot itself, as at the moment this entire lump on the bottom is solid. And thus, most of the work when actually turning these pots is hollowing this portion out. I begin by beveling the edge and then levelling the bottom, and from here on out, all I'm doing is carving away as much clay from the central portion as I can. I know roughly how deep I can go, as typically it's the same level as the wall on the outer portion of the foot, provided the interior shape has been thrown accurately. Yet, as I get deeper, I do regularly check the thickness by pressing on the bottom, and if I feel any movement in the floor of the bowl, then it's time to stop turning. Lastly, I stamp the foot ring with my maker's mark, soften the edges if any clay is splayed out, place the bowl on a bat. This way I can flip it over more easily without having to potentially pinch the foot and distort it, and then I very briefly run a damp, dense sponge over the surface. This knits the clay together, creating a smoother finish that my glazes will hopefully settle on in a neater layer. And now the final, most important thing is to dry this very slowly so the vessel doesn't warp and distort as it turns bone dry.